All right. Welcome to the fourth and final round here of the D20 stream, the pre-recorded stream. Stream is not the correct term here. We had some technical difficulties, so I'm just going to post them to YouTube. But in this round, we have Garrett Newberry on Knightfall versus Satchel Fowler on Jeskai Delver. Who's on the play, guys? All right, Garrett's on the play. He's going to start us out, and we're going to see what they do. All right, so this brew of Satchel's is quite spicy. He was talking to us about it before we got this round started. Satchel is a very creative deck builder. He's chuckling because he knows I'm right. We'll just transition to his little chuckle there. There it is. It's a $1 million smile. All right. All right, so they cut each other's decks. Make sure they're not cheating. It's a concern with Satchel, as we all know, because he's winning with Delver. Uh-oh. All right, Garrett elects to keep, and Satchel does as well. They feign sportsmanship, play a noble hierarch, and ship the turn over to Satchel. Okay, Satchel takes shock and plays a Delver of Secrets. All right. Garrett says Geist of St. Traft and pass turn. That is going to be a very difficult creature for Satchel to deal with, as it has hexproof. It's also going to beat him for 6 every turn because it produces an angel upon attacks. All right, Satchel plays a Scalding Tarn and passes the turn over to Garrett. Gavany Township for Elspeth Knight Errant. That is going to really get his clock going. He's going to give Geist of St. Traft +3/+3 and flying. So he's swinging for a total of 9. Oh, 10 with an Exalted trigger. All right, now the wording on Exalted triggers at the same time, Geist of St. Okay, okay. Well, anyway, so the reason Geist of St. Traft gets a buff from Exalted, even though it attacks with an Angel, is because the Geist Angel trigger and the Exalted trigger all happen simultaneously, so the active player is able to stack those how he wants. So you put the Exalted triggers on the stack, or on the bottom of the stack, then the Angel. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. You basically make sure that Exalted happens first before there's an Angel. Been a long day. Okay, I'll reset the life total there. This just in. Geist of St. Traft is a good card. News at 11. Water still wet. Alright, I forgot to correct the game, but now I don't have to, because it's actually game 2. How about that? Lucky me. Lucky me. Alright, so each player is analyzing their sideboards, picking out the cards that, didn't do so great in that matchup, taking them out. How you feel, Satchel?
It was pretty rough.
It was pretty rough, Satchel says. Pretty rough. That was pretty rough. That was... Yeah, I've seen some...
I've seen some turn 3 plays. That was among the best.
Of all the turn 3 plays Mr. Fowler has seen, that is among the best.
I'm going to look like the biggest buster ever.
This guy was winning off screen. Okay, Satchel elects to be on the play. Alright, Satchel's locked and loaded and ready for Garrett to cut his deck. Garrett's still taking a look at some of his options. 9:46.
I was wondering, this thing like assertive, but I don't want to be able to move. I'm 13. I'm going to be in bed by 8:30.
Satchel Fowler, 13-year-old. Bedtime, 8:30. Let's hope his parents
Luckily,
do
they
not
live in
catch him.
California. They have a couple hours.
All right, hard to commentate on that, on the inter-game banter.
Alright, good luck, but not as good of luck as last time, please.
Satchel says, "Good luck, but not as good a luck as last time." What a tool. All right. They analyze their grips. Satchel says, "Keep, take shock." Plays a Delver. Modern players often have abusive relationships with their lands. Oh, and that Delver is flipping up. It is now Jeff Goldblum from the third act of The Fly. Right. Right now, here we're seeing the potency of Delver. As many decks that revolve around 1-drops do, it does significantly better on the play. But, that's not true for a lot of decks. But more so with 1-drop decks. Or decks that revolve around 1-drops. Alright. Voice of Resurgence. Gets mana leaked by Satchel. Satchel says, "No fun in this game. Pay 3. Alright, okay, so Satchel goes to 15. Fetch shock. And Garrett passes the turn over to Satchel. Satchel draws return. Turns his Delver sideways. If you want to get good at counting down by 3 from 20, you got to play against or with Delver. That has helped me out surprisingly a lot in the past. You never know when you're going to need to count down from 20 by 3s. Okay, Garrett analyzing his play. He's got quite a few lines, I assume. Knight of the Reliquary comes down as a 4/4, and it gets remanded by the Fun Police. There is no running from the Fun Police. And passes it over to Satchel after playing a Noble Hierarch. Alright, turns his bug sideways. Another 3. Putting him to 7. And making me... Alright. Single digits adjusting there. Oh, it's the Fun Police again. And and plays Knight again, which resolves. Okay, Satchel fetching at the end of turn, going to 14. Satchel still shuffling. All right. He finishes at the ripe old age of 50. Draws for turn.
You're at 7? Yep.
All right, now if that Knight hits, it's going to hit pretty hard. If I'm counting right, it's going to get 2 Exalted triggers and hit for 7. 3 lands in the graveyard, and that's just before any tricks from Garrett. All right, so we're going to play a Spellskite, which will run some interference for Satchel, and he's going to get in there for 3 more. Putting him down to 4. Putting Garrett down to 4, that is. All right, Xali Pride Mage gets Spell Snared. All right, Satchel's old friend, Darkness, in the form of Geist of Saint Traft. Now let's see if Satchel can pull a win here. This is going to be critical. Immediately turns it sideways, and there's a Lightning Helix. So they are going to Game 3. All right, pretty exciting game there. The Satchel's plan really came together. Turn 1 Delver, turn 2 Flip, swing, all the way down to 0. All right, some tweaking of the sideboard happening here. Maybe some redaction of some decisions which were made. All right, Ted Nelson, not too lucky tonight, but it is all right. It's all good in the hood. I always like it when there's a Game 3, and it's pretty exciting. It's good for our ratings. We might reach a non-zero amount. That'd be ideal. You suck. Hey, feedback. Yay. Somebody watched. This is great. All right, so Garrett going to be on the play here. I assume. Is that correct, Garrett? Yeah, okay. Ah. Yeah, Garrett informs me and Satchel that he was 1 turn away from getting a Stirring Wildwood, which animates, it's a land, which animates into a 3/4 with reach, which could have very effectively blocked the Delver.
Actually drew a 3.
I expected the first card.
Right.
And so I played Voice because I figured
All right, Garrett uses the age-old stratagem against counterspells where you just make a ton of mana and cast more spells, which is my favorite way to do it. The cross your eyes and headbutt the brick wall, so to speak. All right. So they're going to look at their original 7. All right. Looking pretty closely here. These guys are stoic. Wow. All right, Garrett's still deciding whether or not to mulligan, and he goes to 6. Satchel keeps defiantly. All right, Jeskai Delver, not a deck you probably see a lot because it's an until recently less than popular color combination and a slightly out of favor strategy Delver. But Jeskai recently at the most recent Grand Prix has seen a lot of play in the form of a Nahiri control deck wherein you play Nahiri, upticker, and then use her -8 ability, get Emrakul out, and win. Alright, keeps Scry's, puts it on top. Alright. Alright, Noble Hierarch. Starting him out. He's been pretty lucky with the dorks, but maybe not that lucky since I assume he runs 8 of them. Alright. Delver, pass from Satchel. Drop down to 17 on Garrett's side. And plays a Geist of St. Traft. Does this seem familiar to anyone else? Alright, reveal Mana Leak. What a downside. You have to reveal a Mana Leak to and you get a 3/2 flyer. I don't know if that's worth. Alright. Plains for Satchel. Garrett has the Angel token at the ready. Now, if Satchel is able to deal with the Geist of St. Traft, Satchel passes the turn. He'll be in good shape as Garrett actually has very few cards in his hand. He's feeling the effects of the mulligan, especially compared to Satchel's full grip. Is that 7 cards, Satchel? 6 cards. Holy. Okay. It's going to be 1, Birds of Paradise. Let's see if... Alright, passes the turn. Afraid to attack into that Delver of Secrets, so they're at a bit of a standstill here. Satchel takes shock, down to 18. Okay. Satchel says, go ahead. Garrett untaps and draws. Taps 2. Quazali Pride Mage. That is going to... Satchel wisely elects to Spell Snare that, which is good because that will get Geist of St. Traft out of the danger zone from the second Exalted trigger. Alright, so Satchel's just got to draw another threat. Try to get some more damage in. Or, similarly, some way to deal with the Geist. But Satchel is pretty content to just try to control the board here, control the game. Like he did with that last turn. He can just play some permission spells, some removal. All right, Garrett goes to draw. Garrett says pass turn, still wary of Delver blocks. Satchel draws. Alright, Satchel draws and says go. Garrett cast Collected Company at the end of Satchel's turn. Let's see if Satchel has anything to say about that. Alright, Collected Company resolves. So Garrett's going to look at the top 6 cards of his library and put 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them into play. Alright, he's looking at the rest, and he puts out another Geist of Saint Draft, which will cause him to sacrifice the first. And Satchel fires off a Path to Exile, targeting that Voice of Resurgence.
15.
You're 15? All right. Whose fetch lands will kill them first? Finding a land with Collected Company. And a Geist in the graveyard, it's true. Satchel takes shock. Down to 16. And swings for 3 first swing of the game. Ooh, Supreme Verdict. All right. Boom. Oh, Collected Company right after that Supreme Verdict. Satchel looks at the board like my father looks at me every day. All right, and gets a Fang Send of, oh wow, Voice of Resurgence off that. Gains 2 life from the enters the battlefield trigger on Finks. All right, Satchel takes 5. Oh, man. Myth realized from start specking now. Delver of Secrets, 2 win cons. 2 win cons, 4 bracelets. And main phase Lightning Helix, the Voice of Resurgence. Counter on Myth realized. Oh, wow. Puts out a 2/2 token. And oh, the old resolving 2 Collected Companies. Oh, 3 Collected Companies, right? Wow. Puts out a Noble Hierarch and a Knight of the Reliquary. Sarah McLaughlin, is that you? Okay. Oof. Oh, Bessie. Knight is currently a 5/5. Myth realized is currently a 1/1. See a Kithian here and some sideways guys. And swinging for 13 total. The token being a 5/5. How much did you take, Satchel? Took 8 down to 6. All right, putting him in the single digits. All right, let's see what Satchel has up his sleeve. Oh, man. This is a very tight spot for Jeskai Delver. Satchel says pass. Now, he's not out of the game yet.
Well, no, it's not. It's green black. Because it runs stuff like Shaman of the Pack.
I've seen crazier things pulled out of crazier places. Oh, snap. Before combat, we're going to see Cryptic Command tap draw. Or, let's see.
I'm going to tap.
Okay, so he's definitely going to tap. He's deciding on his second mode. And in response, Garrett is going to fire off a Knight of the Reliquary. My voice didn't break. We don't have evidence of that. No, I'm an adult man. Oh, and there's that Wildwood. Say I heard you were a Wildwood. Ooh. What you say? Alright, and another counter on Myth realized. Satchel realizing the myth. Alright, and another Voice of Resurgence. Alright. Satchel taps 2, plays a Spellskite, which is a blocker. It's gonna help him out here. All right. Satchel asks to see Gideon's backside. A play we only recommend you do on cards, not people. Hoy, 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 hoy. Alright, Gideon gets put back in his sleeve. Garrett, doesn't he trigger when he attacks with 3 other people?
Yeah, he got tapped.
Oh, he got tapped. That's right. Yeah, sorry. Right. Yes, that happened in that game I just watched. Yeah. I should know that. Yes, you are. Alright, Satchel taps 2.
I'm sure they're thinking about it, because I know Morrow said he almost put threshold.
Alright. And we're going to see a lightning bolt targeting Kithian. And Garrett makes it indestructible in response.
I should have read the front side.
Satchel regrets not reading the front side of Gideon. Oh, and there's the handshake. And Garrett Newberry is our champion on this evening. So, Garrett, do you want to lay us out your 6 sideboard and show us what you got?
That looks like the art from Steam Augury. Like, kind of similar. I was like, that's spice right there.
What is that?
Reveals. Yeah. You're probably just make a choice. I think you're forced to pick 4.
So it's like
So it's Brownie.
that other guy?
It's probably, but it's just worse.
Because it costs more.
It's like you draw 4 and
Alright.
everyone says, what are the 2 worst cards of that? Put that in here.
That might have been like the sickest runner.
All right, Satchel, can you lay out your sideboard as well? Just get ready to lay it up. All right,
I just 3 back-to-back companies. After
Garrett, are you ready to?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, after pre-market, I was like trying to take control.
All right, so I've got Garrett here. He's going to tell us about his sideboarding decisions, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about the matchup. So, going to lend it over to Garrett.
Oh, okay. So in this match, I kind of thought he might be bringing in Rest in Peace just because he has white. So I took out most of my Graveyard interaction. I left Knight in just because it's a good card. It can ramp you. But I took out the combo and Eternal Witnesses just because they don't really do much in this matchup. I brought in Smiters just because it's a big threat that can't be countered. Spell Skites to protect my big stuff. And a Dramoka's Command to fight his Delvers, his Delvers mainly. So, in the second match, I had brought in Thrun instead of the Dramoka's Command. I was like, that was a really bad choice. Thrun doesn't really do anything here. Like, it doesn't block Delver. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't die to his removal, but like a lot of my stuff doesn't die to his removal. Yeah. So I had switched out Thrun for Dramoka's Command. I think that was definitely better.
Snipe a Delver out of the sky. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So.
Well, cool. And. All right, thanks, Garrett. We're going to get Satchel over here in this seat, the loser of that last game. One time, Satchel came in 9th place at a PPTQ. Wow. And he did much better than me at the same event, so I didn't even check the standings. I was probably in like 25th or something, yeah. So all right, Satchel, can you move all that over here? Yeah, sorry. Whee! Finishing 31st in a 30-man IQ. All right, so Satchel's going to tell us a little bit about his sideboarding decisions and a little bit about the matchup.
So I took out game 1. I took out Myth Realized and 3 Dispels. I didn't realize he was running Collected Company because I didn't see it in the first 2 games. And I brought in everything except for the Staticaster. Spellskite and Wear Tear disrupt the Knightfall combo. And Supreme Verdict and Anger of the Gods are meant to basically give me control over the board because I can't really deal with decks that go wide very well. So game 3, I brought in the Use It Staticaster. I think it's really good in this matchup. I'm taking out another Myth Realize because he has the Noble. What's that card?
No, it's Solid Pride Mage.
Solid Pride Mage, which can just destroy these no matter what. So I brought in the Staticaster because it can blow up their dorks, and then that makes Mana Leak a bit more effective. Because you saw in Game 3, I had a Mana Leak. I revealed it off the Delver, but I never really got to use it because he had so much mana from the 2 dorks. So if I could have seen this, I could have blown him up. It also blocks Geist of Saint Traft, which it doesn't kill it, but it can block it, which is all right. Yeah, all in all, I shouldn't have brought out the Dispels because those can counter Coco for 1 mana, which is really nice. And as you saw, Coco was just the bane of my existence in that last game.
Oh yeah, drowned you in the
game. Yeah, that was really rough. But all in all, it was a fun game. Yeah, all right, thanks.
Thank you, Satchel. All right, so thank you guys for joining us. That's the last round, and we will see you next week.